Hey there, and welcome to Large Format Friday. I'm your host, Matt Marrash. If this is the first time you're stopping by the channel, there's a playlist of our entire second season of LFF. And if you haven't subscribed yet, we're gonna be here and we're gonna be talking about something large format. So today, it's bright, it's sunny. This is like, I think they call this fall spring when we get that really warm weather. You'll see people completely in like shorts and t-shirts, no jackets, as soon as there's a little bit of sun and the sustained temperatures are above 40 degrees. So I'm outside today and I looked in the shop and I noticed I had two stray sheets of Portra 160. Today I'm going to try to conquer my fear of home processing C41 or color negative film. For the longest time, I've not done it because when I early on tried it, it was too risky. The sheets of film were expensive, they're only getting more expensive, and my skills with home processing color haven't increased. And it's because I haven't practiced it, and I need to start practicing what I preach. So today I'm gonna burn my last two sheets of Portra 160. So I've got some lights set up, I'm gonna take some portraits of Strudel. Everybody in the comments always requests more Lauren and the dogs. Well, Lauren turned down today's shoot, but we never turned down a Strudel opportunity. So we're gonna go grab Strudel, we're gonna light him up against the sun here and get some cool, hopefully, color portraits.
What are you looking at?
I'm gonna focus you up and then I have to do a test with the Fuji to make sure the flash is all good. Still being adorable.
He's being like 10 pounds heavier than he usually is what he's being.
It's like, I want to go. All right, here you go. Here's your baby. The baby.
So heavy, you just nothing but slaves though. Super followers.
So we've got our first shot set up and ready to go. I've got the camera set up with my standard lens. I'm metered out for f/22 on the flash, which is actually going to be f/16.5 because I have longer than the focal length of the lens. I have quite a bit of bellows extension factor. I have about 50% of the focal length covered, so I'm going to add an extra almost stop. So probably 2/3 of a stop we're going to add. So I guess that makes it 16 1/3. And we're gonna fire that through our softbox to help overpower the sun and still get detail in all of this lovely color behind, and of course to get Strudel's strudeliness. Okay. Expensive film, we always check. Good. Pop this one in. Okay, one more shot, this time a little bit closer up. Strudel, Strudel, right here, up here. Strudel, what's that? Nice. All right, well, let's load this up, go back to the darkroom, mix up some DIY C41. So to temper our chemicals and our expectations, we're going to need some sort of temperature control device. Some popular methods for doing that are little portable sous vides that can just be put immersion into a bath to keep that temperature up. Or if you've got one, I have this older CPE2 Jobo that I'm going to fill up with water, The temp regulator on here is not good, but it's going to heat everything up right to where I need it to be, which for this kit I believe is 106. So we're going to go ahead and plug this guy in. If you're plugging this in near a water source, you know, make sure you get good clearance on your cables, just common sense sort of stuff. I'm going to turn on the water, put that in, turn this on, and start heating her up. So while our bath warms up, let's talk a little bit about the chemicals that we're going to be using today. So this is a kit that just launched a couple days ago at FPP. It's not a brand new product, but a new mix of an old classic, and that is the good old-fashioned 1 liter DIY C41 kit. I'm really excited about this because a lot of the C41 kits as of late have been these really large quantities, like really big kits, and sometimes you just want to do 1s and 2s rolls of film or sheets of film. And this is the perfect size for somebody that wants to do several rolls at a time or a smaller amount of shooting, which I'd say for most large format shooters with color, this definitely applies. By the way, disclosure-wise, I've been part of the FPP for a decade now, so I don't make any money from this, but we at the FPP come out with products that are just, yeah, useful for film photographers. So I don't make a cent from FPP. Sometimes there's cool perks, like people recognizing me from the podcast. I get to test cameras, record podcasts, and talk about cool things that we offer for the film photography world. This is a little bit different from most C41 kits because this is optimized for C41 as well as ECN2, which are very similar processes, except ECN2 also would involve removing a remjet layer for motion picture films. So inside we've got some instructions. Very important to read how to. And then, oh no, they're empty. It's because I already mixed everything. So this is a 3-parter. We have a developer, which comes in 5 powder parts. We have a separate bleach and fixer. So what we're gonna do is have our developer at 106 Fahrenheit. We're going to wash that out with water thoroughly at the same temperature. Then we're going to do a bleach step for a few minutes. So 3 minutes on the developer, 3 minutes on the bleach. Wash really carefully in between bleach and fixer because this will have like a yellowish tint to it until that's gone. And then we just have a simple non-hardening fix. And then we'll do that for 5-6 minutes, then wash it again, and then we'll do our final step where we rinse and dry. Also too, when you're mixing this stuff up, please be careful. Really good ventilation, a respirator if you have one, and absolutely wear gloves. Some of this stuff can be nasty, and if you mix it too vigorously and you don't have ventilation, you could breathe this stuff in, and nobody wants that to happen. So how are we going to process this? There's a few different ways. You can use a standard tank like a Patterson and do inversion agitation. You can also, I'm going to jerry-rig it today. I have some heated chemicals and I have a rotary drum, which is just going to turn this back and forth. And then to hold the film, 8x10 film, I don't want to just put bands on it and do the taco method for my film. I'm actually going to use my 20th century camera reel. This one holds 2 sheets of film and goes specifically in a Patterson 5-reel tank, which is excellent. If you don't have a Patterson tank, he has Jobo compatible and Phototherm compatible reels. The sheets of film have to be loaded in with the emulsion side facing in. So the notch code in the upper left-hand corner when you're handling it, and then you run it underneath these little indexing rails. This is flat on one side, so you can set it against a table and kind of push your film in. These are actually really easy to load. The sheet that actually comes with these, little white sheet, you can practice with that if you don't have any dummy film lying around. So let's get to it. Okay, so we got our film loaded. This didn't take me too long, about a minute and a half. Got both sheets in there. Now we need to double check the temp to make sure everything is right at 106 Fahrenheit or 40 Celsius as according to the sheet. All right, let's take a look at our thermometer. Right there. Okay, we're gonna wanna pull this out, dump it in, and set 3 minutes on the clock. Okay, give ourselves 10 seconds for the pour. Go. and this is gonna go for 3 minutes. Once this is done running, I'm gonna have to put the developer back in because I can use it for upwards of 28 by 10 sheets. And I've just got a bucket of screaming hot water here in the ballpark. I think I poured it in when it was 110, so by the time this is done, we should be right at 106. And to stop the developing process and get it ready for the bleach. All right. So we're gonna pour out our developer. Okay, get some stop bath. Okay, now we've got 3 minutes of bleach at a slightly cooler temperature of around 102. See, it's nice and yellow. So like I mentioned before, this is a slightly different kit because it uses a separate bleach and fix step. All right. It's probably going to continue to come out yellow for 4 or 5 washes, I've found. You have to get it all the way out, but you really don't want to contaminate the fix too much. Last step, we need to fix for 5 minutes. And the fixer that ships with this is a non-hardening fixer. Modern films don't really need hardened fixers. It's a choice, but this kit's really simple. It's just the hypo crystals, and you're good to go. All right, let's get that on there. All right, fix is done. Now it's just time for a whole lot of washing. That's good. We don't see any real color cast to it. That's what we want to see. All right, dip the lid, just rinse it off, and start washing. I want to make sure your film rinse is clear. You can use photo flow or you can use stabilizer, which is really just photo flow and a little bit of formaldehyde that's going to kind of harden and make sure nothing kind of gets into those color dyes. And we're almost done with our wash. Ooh, I'm nervous. It's been so long since I've done DIY color. Oh, negatives. Yes. All right, just got to be real careful. Yes. Look at that. There's Lauren and Strood. That looks great. All right, into the stabilizer. Only needs about 30 seconds in there. All right. Off camera, just unloading the second sheet. Oh, there he is, Mr. Strood. Okay, another one, just gently in. Oh, these look great. This looks like C41. Oh my goodness. Okay, get our dryer ready. Okay, drip this off. Okay. So here we are, the end of season 2 of LFF. 52 straight weeks of content from this renewed channel right to your home. Whew, it's been a lot of work, a lot of effort going into it, but the most rewarding part for me is seeing so many folks worldwide excited about getting into large format photography. It's really humbling to see. I love the questions, the feedback, and just all the interaction in general. It's all great things. My whole goal with rebooting this channel was getting more folks into large format, and I think we really got there. Starting next week, there's not going to be an episode of Large Format Friday, but don't panic. We're going to be back with season 3. I'm just going to take a small break between this season and next season. This is going to help me kind of retool, recalibrate, and put more time and quality into the productions you're seeing here on LFF. We're still going to air on Fridays, just not each and every Friday for a while. So bear with me. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me on social media. I'm active on Facebook in a lot of the Facebook large format groups, Twitter, my Flickr page. You can go to my website, marrash.com, and you can always feel free to shoot me an email with those longer questions, large format questions at gmail.com. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll catch you next season for LFF.